There's a fascinating story in the book of Genesis, and it starts chapter 24. It says, Now Abraham was old, well advanced in years, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said to his servant, the oldest of his house, who had charge for all that he had, Put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and of the earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell, but will go to my country and to my kindred, and take a wife for my son Isaac. The servant said to him, Perhaps the woman may not be willing to follow me to this land. Must I then take your son back to the land from which you came? And so this is Abraham again. He's very adamant about this. He said, Abraham said to him, See to it that you do not take my son back there. The Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my birth, and who spoke to me and swore to me, To your descendants I will give this land. He will send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. Why is this important? Who you connect with, who you relate to, who you marry can really play a huge influence, a huge role in your life and how you live your life. If you remember in the book of Kings, Solomon fell in love with foreign women, and that's what derailed him. That's what got him into trouble with God. Samson, the same thing. He married women outside his group of people that was acceptable. If you read in the book of Deuteronomy, God has specific direction. It says you cannot marry these people, you cannot marry these people, you cannot marry these people. And so Abraham in the book of Genesis is before God. God hasn't given him the command yet, but he knows that my son cannot marry the Canaanite. And the reason for that is based on osmosis. I asked ChatGPT to explain it to me so I can make sure I'm telling you how important it is. Who you associate with can influence you. So I asked ChatGPT, how does osmosis relate to human relationship? And it says, osmosis in human relationships can be metaphorically understood as the natural and often subconscious process of absorbing and exchanging emotions, behaviors, and attitudes between individuals. Here's how it relates. It says influence and absorption. Emotional osmosis, empathy. Just as water moves across a membrane, emotions can flow between people. Being around someone who is happy can uplift your mood, while spending time with someone who is anxious can heighten your stress level. Support system. Positive and supportive environments can help individuals absorb confidence and resilience, much like plants absorb water. Behavior osmosis, mimicry. People often unconsciously mimic the behaviors, speech patterns, and habits of those who they spend a lot of time with. This can lead to a shared way of thinking and behaving with social groups. Cultural assimilation. It says when people move to a new cultural environment, they often adopt new customs, language, and behaviors through a process similar to osmosis. And the third one, it says attitudinal osmosis, attitude shift. Constant exposure to certain attitudes and behaviors can gradually influence a person's own view. For example, being around optimistic people can make you more hopeful, while negatively can lead to a more pessimistic outlook. Value exchange. In relationship, partners often exchange and align their values and priorities over time, leading to a cohesive partnership. But this can also be negative. Who you associate with can really influence your decisions and how you show up in the world and the decisions that you make about your future and your goal. And so it's imperative. And that's why God is saying, these people are serving idols. I don't want you to serve idols. These people are pagan worshipers. I don't want you to become a pagan worshiper. So if you marry them, it's going to be easier for you to follow their path versus my path. Negative people have a stronger influence on you than positive people. You can sit here and watch my video and feel good about yourself, but the next video you watch, it can be toxic and abrasive, and it's going to affect you more than what I just said. And so we must be conscious of not only who do we relate to as friends in marriage, but also what are the things we're consuming. In the book of Corinthians, it says, Corinthians chapter 6 says, verse 14, it says, do not be mismated with unbelievers. For what partnership have righteousness and iniquity? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? What accord has Christ with Belial? Or what has a believer in common with an unbeliever? You have to be intentional of the environments you put yourself into. The people you talk to on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, even on a monthly basis, can be the one influencing the decisions you make about your life. When people are giving out toxic information about dating on the internet, you're consuming that whether you like it or not. You're consuming that. That is influencing your decisions and the way you think and how you see the world. So you have to be intentional about it. What does a believer have to do with unbeliever? Start taking inventory of the people you talk to, the people you hang around, and see how their behavior patterns do not influence you. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.